Hello students, and welcome to the fourth lesson of term 2. Once again, copying these examples down as I go through them. So guys, in chapter 6, we're looking at equations of a line. So, pretty important formula. Hopefully we're pretty familiar with this one from prior years. The equation of a line is y equals mx plus c, where m represents the gradient, the slope, and c represents the y-intercept. So the question is saying, determine the equation of a line that passes through the points -3, 4 and 1, 6. So in order to determine the equation of a line, first thing we need to do is figure out the gradient. So I've copied out those 2 points here again. Then I have used that to figure out the gradient. So I've written my gradient formula here. Then I substitute my values. What's my second y-coordinate? It's 6. What's my first y-coordinate? It's 4. So it's 6 take 4. What's my second x-coordinate? It's 1. What's my first x-coordinate? It's -3. So it's 1 take away -3. Recall, of course, that 1 take away -3 is the same as 1 plus 3. So then I simplify the fraction. 6 take away 4 gives me 2. 1 plus 3 gives me 4. 2/4, more commonly known as a half. Just so you know, students, if you wanted to write that as 0.5, that's acceptable. A half or 0.5 is acceptable. However, if you were getting something like a third, probably best to leave it as a fraction rather than writing 0.33 recurring. Anyway, so what have we determined? Well, we've determined at this stage, my equation looks like this. Since m equals a half, and the equation of a line is y equals mx plus c, this is what I found. Y equals a half x plus c. So I found the gradient of my line. Now I need to find the y-intercept. So how do I find the y-intercept? Well, to find the y-intercept, which is c, I need to substitute a coordinate into the equation. Does it matter which one? No. I've gone with the first coordinate, -3, 4, because it was written first. It's just the first one I saw. You could easily substitute 1, 6 into this equation and you'd still get the correct answer. So I am substituting one of the coordinates I was given into the equation. So here's my equation as it sits. I replace the letter y with the number 4. I replace the letter x with the number -3. So 4 equals a half multiplied by -3 plus c. What's a half multiplied by -3? That's -1.5. Maybe use your calculator for that. If you're pretty good, you might not need to though. Anyway, so now 4 equals -1/2 plus c. I move the -1/2 over this side. 4 plus 1/2 is equal to c. 4 plus 1/2 is 5.5. So c equals 5.5. So my equation is y equals a half x plus 5.5. And as I was saying earlier, you could easily write it as a decimal that looks like that. Either way is just as correct. However, bear in mind, if you have an irrational number, by that I mean if you're getting something like a third or a sixth or whatever, if you're getting an irrational number, probably best to leave it in fraction form. Anyway, that's the end of that example, students. Now you know the drill. Moving on to the questions that are outlined in the OneNote. I will see you in a bit for the second half of the lesson.